Okay, so what we're going to go through today is how to improve your client retention, what that looks like, what that should be. And I'm going to go through kind of the four main things that we look at if we're trying to keep clients in our service long term, and what you should be looking for and how you can improve your client retention. So this is going to be especially important after clients have finished that initial period of working with you and how we keep them on long term, but also how we handle situations like Christmas and like summer, and how we build something that people maybe don't want to just put on the shelf for a couple of months and come back to. Okay, how it's something that they consistently see value with in their lives. So that's what we're going to go through. The first elephant in the room is clients are going to leave you. Clients are going to leave you. They're going to leave. It would be daft if every single client that you got stayed with you forever. But I think coaches then don't understand what the numbers should look like. So then they get complacent and then they panic. And it seems to be this, I've got great retention until I don't issue. And there's nothing that they're really looking at in order to improve that. So I'm going to give you some kind of our numbers and then industry numbers of what we look for. So for me, your churn rate is how many clients leave compared to how many clients you have total. So if you have 40 clients and 4 clients leave or don't renew with you after their initial term, that's 10% churn. Okay. If 8 clients leave, that's 20% churn. Just to give you an idea of the maths. Now, for service-based coaching industries, the industry standard across everything, so this is massive companies like with 100,000 clients or people with 6, the industry average is 30%. So that's if you've got 40 clients, that's 12 clients leaving every single month. Now, that would panic a lot of coaches. If you lost 12 clients next month, you'd probably cry. So what we usually look at is somewhere around 10%. Anywhere around 10 to 15% we find is acceptable. And we ideally like our clients to stay for 6 months. Now, the reason for this is 6-month retention on average. So some will stay a little bit less, some will stay more, some will stay way more, some will leave after a month. Okay, it's a bell curve, right? But our average should be around 6 months. Anywhere above 6 months is brilliant, but we need to get a minimum of 6 months for this reason. If you want to make 6 figures, for example, okay, so if you want to make £100,000 a year with your coaching business, all right, and you charge £250 a month, which is what we recommend for a good coach that gets good results. So like middle of the line, like average, does a good job. Not incredible, not terrible, just average, £250 a month. That would mean that you would need 40 clients, okay? Now, if you keep your clients for 6 months, that means you need to, on average, renew your whole client base every 6 months, okay? Which then allows you to start understanding how many sales you need to make a month to build your business. So if your price point is $250, okay, you need to, I'm going to get my calculator out to help me with this because I know I used to be much better at mental maths, but I'm not anymore. 40 over 6 is 6.666667. So no wonder I couldn't quite do it in my head, although I should have been good because it's the thirds. So let's round it up to 7, okay? That means that you're going to have to make 7 new sales every month in order to grow your business to 100 grand. Now, if you want to grow your business to 200 grand, very simple, keep your retention the same. You're now going to need 14 signups a month, okay? With average retention of 6 months. If you want to grow it to 300 grand a month, 300 grand a year, 21 signups. But that allows you to kind of predict and make projections about how many signups you need per month to get you to the income that you want. Now, if you don't know your churn rate, you don't know what your average client retention is, you can't make those predictions. And then you don't know what you're aiming for. Okay. Now, if you, for example, you can do it another way. So if you know what your monthly churn rate is on average, so say on average, your monthly churn rate is 10%, you know that to stay the same, you need to take on 10%. So if 40 clients is where you want to be, or if you're at 40 clients and you want to stay the same, you're going to lose on average 4 clients a month. So you need to, on average, sign up 4 clients a month. If you want to grow, then you're going to need to sign up more than you lose. So you're going to need 8 clients or 16 clients or whatever that looks like. Okay. Remember that as your client base grows, if you're at 10% churn, the number of clients that leave are going to grow. So if you got to 50 clients and you're at 10%, 5 clients are going to leave. 60 clients, 6 clients are going to leave. But at least it gives you a baseline. That was probably really boring maths for a lot of you. But if you don't understand that concept, there's no point talking about retention because you don't know what it is. So all these things that we put in place, we don't know whether it's improving anything. Because if you don't know what the start number is, you don't know what the improvements are. So now that we've got an understanding of what churn is and why it's important for us to know, now we can look at ways of improving it, okay? So getting that longer client lifetime, if you want to think about it in that sense, or just reducing the monthly churn numbers down. Okay, so the first thing to improve churn and improve your client retention is reducing the amount of actual defaults and people leaving that you have in the initial term. So one thing that we found massively improves client retention even after the initial term is what we call TTV, which means time to value. Okay. How long is it before that client sees value in your program? How long is it before they get a win? So for us, when somebody comes into our program, we aim to make their first high ticket sale within 7 days of them joining. If they make their first high ticket sale within, say they come in and they're charging like 120 a month, and we say, right, we're going to build you this coaching package. It's going to be 220 a month. We get them a sale within the first 7 days. There you go. Holy shit, I can do this. I've done it. I've seen it worked. Somebody's just paid me more money than, double what I used to charge. This is going to work. And that makes a massive, massive difference for us in our client retention because they immediately see the process works and then they buy in. And once they buy in, they follow the process swifter, they handle problems better, they stay in the program, they get incredible results, and that keeps them on long term. So think about with your coaching program, your time to value. And it doesn't mean like when they lose the first £10, because that might not be what your program's about. But that first moment where that client goes, this is going to work. What can we put in place in the first 7 to 10 days within our program that gets that client that win, that gets that client that moment? Because that for me makes a massive difference in retention because you've got a bought-in client straight away. What you don't want to happen is people already clock out of the program in their heads, even if they do the initial term, even if they do the 3 months. If they already clocked out after 10, 12 days that this isn't going to work for them, they're the ones that aren't going to, put in 100% effort. They're not the ones that are going to come to you if they've got an issue. They're just going to hide. They won't talk to you. They'll miss check-ins. They'll do all of that stuff, okay? So one of the best ways to improve your client adherence and improve your client retention is to get that time to value as short as possible. So when we sit in meetings with our coaching team in the mornings, we actually discuss like, what's our TTV for this current crop of clients at the moment? How fast are we getting them their first result? Because we know that means a massive, massive difference in our back end. So that's the first thing to consider. The second thing is mapping out the process for them long term. So if you sell a 3-month program, but you want 6-month client retention, having them do 3 months of fat loss, like, oh yeah, we've got in great shape. Oh, do you want to carry on a monthly basis? No. You'll lose a lot of clients at that point because you've not mapped out the long-term journey. So I agree on social media, on the front end, you should sell a quick win. So ours for our program, for example, is getting your first 10K a month. Okay. That's our win. Now we do that sometimes in 2 months, sometimes in 3 months. It's a short-term thing. Building a business is a long-term program. All right. It's a long-term thing. And it's probably the same for most of your clients with either repairing relationships with food, improving their health, or getting the physique they want. Yes, you can get them a result, like one big result that they want within, 90 days or 120 days. But the real big result that they want, the life-changing thing, the thing that's going to make the biggest difference to them is probably a longer process. Okay. So we sell them on the front end, the quick win that they want. And when I say quick, I mean like, 90 days, 120 days. That's the program that we sell them on social media because you need massive, massive authority to sell like 12, 15-month programs on front end customers. But for where we are now, short-term program, as soon as they're in the program, as soon as they come through the door, we need to be seeding that long-term process. Okay. So for us, we actually break our program down into 2 ways. So obviously we have Kickstart, which is like 0 to 5K. And that's 6 months And then as soon as they get they do 2 recurring 5K months and they're on for the third, we get them in CEO. CEO is our flagship program. CEO is about going from 0 to 10, 5K to 10K, or, kind of 4 to 5K to 10K as fast as possible. Getting you good amount of cash in the bank, getting your head above water, getting you stop living month to month with your coaching business. After that, the process is a 12-month process, okay? About taking your business from there to stable £20,000 months. Having a team that means that you can work 2 or 3 days a week and work in the areas of the business that you love and not have to work in the areas of the business that you don't particularly like, okay? Now, that is a longer-term process. We're seeding that as soon as that client's in front of us, okay? As soon as we're working with that client, because we know that we get 10K a month like clockwork, right? The goal is then to seed this. This is the important journey. This is the long-term play. This is where you need to be long-term in order for you to have, the life that you want, the holidays that you want, the freedom that you want, the finances that you want. That doesn't come with a 10K a month. That comes with a stable 20K a month business. And so we sell them what they want on the front end, but then as soon as they're in, we're seeding that whole process. And that's what coaches need to do with theirs. Even for physique stuff, right? You get that fat loss, great. Okay, you instantly feel better about yourself, you look better in clothes. Realistically, for most Gen Pop clients, they're not in incredible shape at the end of that 90 days or 120 days. They're just less fat. They're just leaner. If they want that cover model physique, if they want that, high level, like hard to achieve physique, it's going to take probably another 12 months on top of that. It's usually the second year where they really get it right, where it's embedded into the lifestyle, where it's something that they're going to stick with forever, where they've tried a couple of different training methods and a couple of different nutrition tactics and found the one that's perfect for them. We get them the result in the short term, but the lifestyle and the long-term gains are something that we need to start talking about from day one. So you need to think about how you get that into your program, how you can get that into your client journey, because that's something that we've worked on over the past few months. Because we talk so heavily about getting coaches to 10 grand a month on the front end marketing, people were getting to 10 grand a month and thinking like, right, that's it, it's done. Boom, off we go. And it's not. And then the clients that we've now seeded this with properly are now, hitting 16, 17. Some have hit that 20 already. And it's made a huge difference to them. And we were doing them a disservice because we weren't selling when they came into the program. This is actually what the long-term play is. So that's something that you need to think about with your coaching business that will massively improve retention. The next thing I need you to think about is these are smaller touches, all right, but gifting and celebrating people's wins. This works massively for client retention, okay? Sending people small gifts on, even just a card, on the birthday, on, the kind of 3-month process they signed up. I've been in programs before where they sent me salted caramels every single month with a handwritten card. I thought it was really good. I didn't want to eat a bag of salted caramels every month, but I made my way through them slowly. I said slowly, they were gone by the 5th of every month.
I was going to say,
they're like, you like that? I don't want them. Like, are they gone now? Yeah, they're finished. Sending cards, sending gifts, celebrating people's milestone wins. So having, goals that they hit, celebrating that with them, making it seem like a journey that you're on together, that you really care about their customer and you really want them to be part of the program, makes a massive difference. Okay. So, again, you need to have the margin in your product for this to work, because you don't want to be sending out like gift boxes if you're charging £150 a month, but sending people hoodies, when they re-sign with you for the second term, sending people birthday cards, sending people like little personalized presents, like little things that that they would like, even if it's like £6 off Amazon. But sending them things when they hit their first stone lost, or when they go their first 3 weeks without binging or something like that. Set those milestones within your business and set those milestones for each client about what's, achievable for them. Make sure you celebrate that with them, because it makes a massive difference. And that brings me on to the final point, which is building a community, because that's the start of it. That's building a relationship between you and the client. But the best retention comes from when you have a relationship between you and your client, but relationship between client to client as well. And you build that community where people want to be a part of it. And the big things that work for us with that are just engagement with each other. So that might be Facebook groups, that might be WhatsApp chats, That might be, you know, smaller pods of clients that are more likely to kind of be friends with each other. That works really well. And also like running events. And this is different for every business, but getting people together in person. I know this is an online program, but I feel that just that connection that you'll get in person will work really well. For this kind of stuff, I think punctuating like every 6 weeks with something can work quite well. You don't need to do in person every 6 weeks, but maybe if you did something quarterly in person and they did something virtual in the middle every 6 weeks, that could make a massive difference for them. And thinking about things that will engage them, like going on walks, like doing seminars, like, you know, doing boot camps and training together, or even just social events, Christmas parties, summer barbecues, all of that stuff makes a huge difference. And I've always found that the clients that come to those and make relationships within the program stay the longest and are the best clients. Like, obviously I ran my fitness business on my own at first, and then I brought Lewis in, and there's clients that and Lewis is still coaching, right? So I've had clients that I brought on that never worked with Lewis, that then worked with Lewis as part of my company, that now still work with Lewis as part of his coaching company 3 years later. And that's because they were the people that turned up to the events we put on. They were the people that we spoke to the most. They're the people that we built the best relationships with. And it's about making sure that you do that with as many people in your program across the board. But I guarantee you, if you do all of those things, you will massively improve your client retention, which will mean that every sale you make goes towards building your business rather than just bringing it back to where it was. So hopefully that was helpful. The next side of the coin is about getting clients in the business. Okay, so if you need help with that, definitely download our business builder. Okay, the link's underneath in the description. That will go through content, lead generation, how to sign people up, how to build authority with your audience, how to build a baseline coaching program. Okay, so you can add all this stuff on top of that and have a really, really well structured, well thought out business. So make sure you download that. Make sure also while you're there, you click the button below to subscribe to the channel, and you click the bell notification at the top to be told when I make more videos. That's my third one today.
You're a pro at that now, mate.
Third one.
Solid.